participated in a live public, I'm not sure how you describe it, but basically it was a fundraiser that was done live on the air at for Mahogany's. And a lot of people showed up, and they either bought food or they purchased carry out or they made donations. So there were many, many members in the community that deserve, props because they stood up. They stood up and tried to support that black business. We always talk about black businesses, but when we get one, do you patronize it? Do you support it? Kashana writes, excellent food and service in Hamilton. I was at one point a regular. Okay. Deborah writes, Brent, my thought, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Really sad situation. Really sad situation. But the reason why we're talking about her is because of Sam Malone. Here we go again. You got this brother making a little bit of money. Is it the amount of money that he made? Like if the last check was for $550, would this be a big deal? It would be a big deal. But because of the large sum, and I believe because of the fact that but because Sam Malone is an African American, it makes for a bigger story in this area. That's sad. I mean, I don't know if this story is increasing the circulation for the Inquirer. If it is, it's sad. It's sad as hell because there's really nothing to the story at all. All roads, if you investigate, lead to nowhere on this story. There's nothing there. Nobody did anything wrong to this point. Nobody did anything wrong. There's no real evidence. Sam Malone having a unique consultancy situation with MSD, quite frankly, is nobody's business. So what? Is the Inquirer going to do an investigation into other and all unusually structured consultancy arrangements that people might have with the city or any organization that gets public money? Probably not. So why are you doing it with this one? Charlie Winburn. Okay, let's say he made a phone call and said, hey, did that check from Sam Malone get processed? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing illegal with that. It doesn't go anywhere. So again, I am struggling to figure out what's the big deal here. Maybe I'm missing something. We've also been talking about the fact that Kevin Durant, is this guy suck MC? Is that a Gilligan move? Ostensibly, to me, yes, it is. Yes, it is. How do you get beaten by a team in the NBA semifinals, Western Conference Finals, and then you come up for free agency and you leave and go to that very same team? Could you imagine LeBron James losing to the Spurs? He comes up for free agency and then he joins the Spurs? They would have crucified LeBron James. Why is it a KD? Do you believe he's going to get some kind of special circumstances? Now, just because I was interested, I turned on ESPN and I saw Stephen A. Smith go absolutely off, and he's absolutely right. It's weak what Kevin Durant just did. My brother was arguing with me yesterday. Well, what about Jesus Shuttlesworth? You got all these other players that do it. Yeah, those are role players. It's different when you're a superstar, when you're the guy. It's different. What do you think? More local news here. I'm reading that Trump has announced he's going to visit the Sharonville Convention Center. Brace for that. Get ready for that. It's going to be Wednesday. You can register for tickets. In fact, you must register for tickets at www.donaldjtrump.com. Let me click on this link. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. Let me register for some tickets right now. Put my phone number in there. You got to register for the tickets. I'm going to try to get 2 tickets. Would you like to volunteer? No, I don't want to volunteer for Donald Trump, but I would like to attend. Let me put my phone number in here. Okay. There we go. Everything's in. And I'm going to submit my registration. Okay, so now I'm submitted, and it's just that simple. You can register. Oh, yeah, got the text. You can register just like that. I just did it live on the air because I like to be there. I want to be your man with eyes and ears in the room. Okay, I was not able to attend when he came close last time. When he came to he was scheduled to come to Cincinnati, the Duke Energy Convention Center. They shut that down. They canceled it because of the violence at some of his other stops. But I like to see Donald Trump from my own eyes. I like to walk within his crowd. I would like to see the true Donald Trump believers. I would like to walk amongst the dumb people, basically. I want to walk amongst the dumb people to see what in the hell is going on exactly. Donald Trump. And I believe the doors are going to open at 4 p.m., and I believe everything is going to start at like 7 p.m. I do not know. Will the son of a very well-known local preacher and civil rights activist do the opening for Donald Trump? That will be fun. That'll be fun. Daryl writes, let's be honest. The local smaller newspaper businesses are slowly becoming obsolete, and they are desperate to keep them afloat. That's all. Daryl, I agree with you. And Lawrence writes, why is it that typically the people at the center of these situations are never as vocal as their supporters? If it's your personal issue, you should be leading your own fight. The public shouldn't constantly fight other people's battles. Okay, you talking about what exactly? Kiki writes, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, whether you're in or out of the chop shop, please hit the like button. That goes a long way. What it does for the Spreaker network is that it's almost like, I think the algorithm is very similar to Facebook. It gives me more visibility within the Spreaker network so more people can come across the show, even if they're not listening to the show in particular. I also say to you a couple things here. We're coming up to 2,000 followers. That's 2,000 subscribers just on Spreaker. That means 2,000 people get a notification whenever we do something live here on the Nathan Ivey Show. And that's huge. That's huge. I really appreciate you. We're also coming up on 100,000 plays. That is huge. And I want to say thank you. And we are number 2 in the category of current events on Spreaker. If you don't know anything about it, you can explore it and check it for yourself. Spreaker has dozens of shows. Because of the support and popularity of this show, we rose very, very quickly and became number 2 under the category of current events, which means that if you ever go to Spreaker and you search for current events, this show is going to come up. Even if you're not even a listener of the show, we're going to come up. That's how it comes up. You're going to see this show as a particular option. There's only one show ahead of us, and I love to pass them. And the only thing they have other than us here on the Nathan Ivey Show is they started, I can tell from the amount of shows that they have, pardon me on that, but they started a lot earlier than I did. They've been doing the show for years, so they've been able to amass a lot of plays. But we can catch them. Mike writes, black negativity in the news equals ratings. Thank you, Mike. That's what I'm getting at. Ed writes, first it was Nate teaming up with Nas teaming up with Jay-Z. James going to the Heat. Now KD must be the money. Well, it's not the money. It's the rings. Kevin Durant is set up for life. I would say that by the time Kevin Durant ends his career, he'll have $150, if not $200 million in the bank after taxes, getting interest, many business ventures. Kevin Durant's never going to have to work again in his life. If Kevin Durant wanted to get a tattoo of Mike Tyson's face with a tattoo over his face, it won't make a difference. Because Kevin Durant is never going to be in a position where he's going to have to walk into somebody else's office and try to sell himself for a job. He's just not going to have to do that. This is about legacy. And if you want to blame anybody for what you see, the moves that LeBron James made, I mean, LeBron had to make that move. He had to. Kevin Durant, he might feel like he had to. And I believe that everybody saw the strength that James showed going through his turmoil after his big decision. And I think that gave some strength to Kevin Durant and maybe some other players out there that they can do the same thing. Because when you become a ball player on the level of a Kevin Durant, the only thing that matters is rings. Other players judge you on that. The greatest of the greats players, when they get around each other, they talk about rings, okay? The alpha male in the room is the dude that's got the most rings. That's what matters. And if Kevin Durant never wins an NBA champion, he'll never be recognized as one of the best basketball players of this era. He doesn't want to be a Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony should have left a long time ago. He didn't want to be that. And then plus Russell Westbrook was sucking up all the energy on the basketball court. You could tell his energy, while a great player, his energy and his attitude was taken away from the tremendous talent and star that is Kevin Durant. See, sometimes you can have that. You know, sometimes you can have people that like doing an ensemble or maybe they're in a group. And it's something about that group dynamic that stifles the development of some artists, you know, some artistic people, some creative people. Okay, so think about Lionel Richie after he left the group that he was in, right? Became even bigger. It happens that way. And I think that's exactly how it is in this case with KD. KD is going to go to a better team, a team that's more concerned about moving the ball, less with ego, great shooters, NBA champions. He's going to excel. But again, my money's still on the Cavs, period. Casey writes, I'm so happy to hear about the success of the Chop Shop. Casey, thank you very much. I'm very happy about it as well. Deborah writes, Nate, I used to be a buyer. I would love to see the original contract and payment terms, agreement to Sam Malone. Where are the contract administrators? Shaking my head. My question is, and here's one question that the Inquirer has not asked, and it says something about the nature of their reporting on MSD. And that is, did Sam Malone execute and deliver on the contract? Like I'm looking at it right here. It's page 10A, Sunday paper, July 3rd, 2016, Why Lowly Sewers Became High Drama. Is written by Dan Horn and Sharon Coolidge. And I think I like Sharon Coolidge more than I like Dan Horn, quite honestly. I think I've heard him on the radio, like on 700, doing shows and things like that. That's a radio station here in the city of Cincinnati. And I don't think I really care for him, but that's just me. He may not care for my flow. And that's what it is. But here's some of the bullet points. How did Sam Malone get his contract at MSD? Question mark. What work did Sam Malone do? Question mark. What's so unusual about Malone's contract? Question mark. Why did Malone lose his contract? Question mark. Did the city eventually pay? Question mark. Why did the city act? Question mark. Was the firm threatened? Question mark. Why so much urgency? Question mark. Why does Charlie Winburn's name keep coming up? That's because you keep pinging it. This is ridiculous. Charlie Winburn's name is coming up, Inquirer, because you keep bringing it up. And then lastly, what happens next? Never do they ask the question. I think this is all important. Did Sam Malone faithfully execute his terms of the contract? I mean, whatever he was contracted to do, did he do it? Because if he did, what's the problem? I don't get it. I don't see it. Woody writes, Curry and KD can teach each other how to blow a 3-1 lead. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's going to be a shooter's paradise. As good as Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson have been, adding someone like Kevin Durant, an equally marksman of a shooter, is only going to make all of them better. Competition brings the best out of people. It brings more out of certain people. Some people are natural born competitors. If you are a natural born competitor, when you get around other competitor, like if you're a shark, when you get around other sharks, it makes you more of a shark. It brings that out of you if you have it in you. Like if you're a hell of a basketball player, like a very dear and close friends of my family, okay, very close, very dear. I mean, my children refer to this woman as she's an aunt. And if you know anything about me, that's not easy for me. I don't play that aunt game. I don't do that. But, you know, this person has really earned that kind of trust in our family. But anyway, she has a son who, I mean, you know, like one of my own, you know, at the house on the regular, very, very close to my daughter, very near. And I mean, the young man means a lot to me. Okay. And he is a hell of a basketball player, And I fully expect for him to go to college. And who knows, you know, maybe one day he'll go to the pros. Who knows? That'd be great for him. and his mother. His mother puts a